unexpected behind the scenes live late tonight because there is new information coming out about the Emmanuel Haro case, and I just can't wait. I want to make sure that I'm up and live. Can anybody see this? Okay, I am. Great. So Jake Haro has done his first interview behind bars. So really quickly, I did an entire full update tonight on the case, and I recommend everyone going and watching that. It has all of the latest updates. Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done these lives from wherever I am, but again, something's just an exclusive Jailhouse interview. Father of baby Emmanuel says he would tell his missing son, "I love you, buddy." That's the title of the article from the Press Enterprise who interviewed Jake Haro from behind bars. Couldn't wait until tomorrow because, like I said, we did an over 30-minute entire update on the Jake Haro latest, as well as Rebecca Haro about missing baby Emmanuel, and this couldn't wait until tomorrow. I am actually here with Lily. Lily, say hi. Lily's tired. So forgive me if Lily moves around. You guys know she's with me here. But all right. I had just finished doing my Donna Adelson update. Thank you for those that watched earlier today. Did a full update on everything going on, like the press conference and an alleged possible confession from behind bars, which he's claiming didn't happen. So that's why we've got to thank you to the Press Enterprise. As soon as this live is done, I'm going to have the link in the description of this episode to this article, and I'll actually have somebody, if somebody could also, yeah, we're going to also put this in chat. All right. I'm just going to read this. We're just going to read this together. In an exclusive Jailhouse interview, father of baby Emmanuel says he would tell his missing son, "I love you, buddy." Here we go. Updated August 27th, 2025. Written, it's by Brian Rokos. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name, last name wrong, Brian. Jake Haro said in a Jailhouse interview on Wednesday, August 27th, that Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron's assertion that Haro's missing 7-month-old son was the victim of long-term abuse. That is true. We reported on that earlier today. If you go back and watch our last update, which will also pin in this description and in the chat. Well, Haro says that's not true at all, although he declined to discuss what role, if any, he played in Emmanuel's disappearance. Haro, 32, and his wife, Rebecca, 41, were charged Tuesday, August 26th, with murder and filing a false police report with bail set at $1 million each. Jake Haro said little else about the case in the interview with a Southern California News Group reporter via video hookup at the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility in Banning. Haro would not say whether he led authorities to the Moreno Valley Badlands on Sunday, August 24th, where he was spotted with investigators. We shared that too. He did say he had been completely cooperative with investigators. "I want to talk about it, but I can't," Haro said, referring to instructions from his attorney. "I was told, don't do no press." Here we are, though. Haro wore a red jail jumpsuit, indicating that he is in segregated housing for his protection. He said he had no contact with other inmates. Haro sometimes wiped his face with a white cloth. His eyes appeared to be red. Haro said he attended Banning High, where he played tight end and linebacker on the football team. During the 45-minute interview, Haro said the couple cares about Emmanuel. They attempted to schedule several appointments to inoculate the boy, but one hospital was continually out of vaccines, the dad said. They eventually switched hospitals and had an October 2nd appointment to get Emmanuel his shots. Rebecca Haro claimed that Emmanuel was kidnapped by a man who she said knocked her unconscious in the parking lot of the Big Five in Yucaipa on August 14th, kicking off the investigation and what has become a national story. I would say international. Haro talked at length about his child cruelty conviction in 2023, which he said prompted investigators to unfairly assume that he killed Emmanuel. Haro said he accidentally dropped baby daughter Carolina on a sink divider while bathing her, but she appeared uninjured. However, the girl was later found to have broken bones and other serious injuries after Haro's wife at the time, Vanessa, woke him up in the middle of the night. She, meaning the daughter, Carolina, who is now renamed Promise Faith, as we know, is now bedridden, the district attorney said on Wednesday. Both the husband and the wife made plea deals with the judge over the objection of the district attorney's office. He received 180 days in the sheriff's work release program and was handed a suspended 4-year prison sentence and ordered to attend a child abuser treatment program. Haro said Wednesday that the sentence was fair. He said he wanted to take the case to trial, but I pled guilty because I didn't have the money to go to trial. The judge said nobody would believe my side of the story. Somehow, they magically convinced me to take this damn plea deal. It wasn't a plea deal. He pleaded to the court, but we'll go on. I was sick of court. The judge knows I didn't do it. They just railroaded me. I was the fall guy. Haro was hopeful on Wednesday that enough money could be raised, generally 10% of the bail, to free Rebecca, who he wed 3 years ago. Rebecca is innocent, Haro said. The media is killing her. She is a beautiful woman. She loved her children, end quote. Interesting. She is being held at the Robert Presley Detention Center in Riverside. On Tuesday, after the Haros appeared in court, separated from one another, Jake Haro said he encountered her after getting off an elevator. I'm trying to shout to her, I love you, Haro said. The deputy shoved me to the ground. He launched me like I was a rag doll. Haro said he re-injured a shoulder. The sheriff's department on Wednesday declined to comment on that account. This investigation will be ongoing for quite some time, Lieutenant Deidre Vickers said in an email. We are not going to comment on statements made by the suspect nor provide any details about the investigation. Haro also talked about social media posts from the public that have been highly critical of the Haros. You think? God is with us, he said. The allegations are horrendous, so of course, people are going to be riled up. Haro was asked what he would say to Emmanuel if he could talk to his boy. I love you, buddy, Haro said. So that is the article. Again, that is in the Press Enterprise, a local newspaper online. I'm reading online that has been following this case from the very beginning. They've done an excellent job. Likely some of the reporters that were complimented in today's earlier press conference as they thanked the mainstream media for reaching out to them for comments. Of course, there weren't much comments to be given about what Jake Haro said, but back to this late night live I'm doing. Glad to see everyone in chat here. Can we just unpack a few of these things together? Again, I did my latest update without this little bit of information. So it sounds like he's not throwing Rebecca under the bus like I had suspected, unless he's making that clear in the media and to, all of the public that he's not throwing her under the bus, while possibly throwing her under the bus. Behind the scenes, we don't know. But according to this article, to his first interview, exclusive interview behind bars, he loves Rebecca and she's innocent, although their stories are different. And then this vaccine story, help me out with this one. Help me out here. Is he saying that Emmanuel didn't get a vaccine? Because that's like neither story we've heard, right? We've heard from Brian Enton that he might have stated to investigators he rolled over on his baby. In the press conference, they don't necessarily say that's accurate. I'm doing some secondhand reporting here. Reporter Brian Enton with senior correspondent at News Nation, also podcast host of his own podcast, Brian Enton, states that allegedly he was told through a source that Jake Haro said he rolled over on his baby. And that's what happened, and that's why they were out searching along the side of the freeway. Police, law enforcement haven't confirmed that. And I shared all this in my earlier update. Please go watch that after this. But now we're hearing something about not getting his child vaccines and not being able to find care for his baby. Like, that's the reason. And Rebecca is still, as far as we know, from her interview from behind bars, sticking with the kidnapping story. It's very strange. And police are saying the baby Emmanuel, was murdered. I'm going to believe law enforcement on this one. They both have murder charges officially. And police also believe they suspect where baby Emmanuel might be. They have an indication, was the word they used. And we also heard from Brian Enton's report that we might have learned that he did do something to the baby and possibly threw Emmanuel out with the trash. None of these things I want to emphasize have been confirmed by law enforcement, but different sources. I'm here as the messenger here, sharing what different sources have said. But now we're hearing from Jake Haro himself something about vaccines, not being able to show up at the hospital, and wanting to say, "I love you, buddy," while also defending Rebecca and saying she's great, and neither, confirming or denying her kidnapping story. But he also said that what law enforcement did say with certainty, directly from law enforcement, let's talk about that, directly from law enforcement, they stated that Emmanuel was a baby that was abused over a long period of time. That comes from law enforcement. So that's not me doing secondhand reporting. That's from law enforcement. And that's the one thing that Jake Haro is absolutely denying. Isn't that interesting? The one thing that police said with certainty today in that press conference that was heartbreaking for us all to hear, that care about baby Emmanuel. He's saying it's absolutely not true and saying, "I love you, buddy." He's also denying, again, his conviction. He has a conviction for abusing his little girl, Promise Faith, who's now bedridden, allegedly blind. And he's also denying that, still claiming that he dropped her on a sink divider. Talk about not taking accountability. When someone's convicted and at a sentencing in front of a judge, like especially if the judge is giving a lesser sentence than he should be getting, usually it's because the defendant acknowledged what they did and then said they were sorry and showed remorse. Here we are post-conviction, like he was convicted. And he's still claiming he didn't even abuse his baby daughter. No, he didn't even do it. But then he said the sentence was fair. If he didn't do it, the sentence wouldn't be fair. If he did it, any sentence wouldn't. If he didn't do it and literally accidentally dropped his little baby girl, his precious baby girl, on a sink divider, then he wouldn't even have a conviction. So he's saying that the sentence was fair, but also claiming he didn't even do anything to her. I mean, this is a guy. This is just, as I say, word salad, manipulative, can't get a story straight, and neither can any of the public. Neither can we. I keep thinking we're going to have more answers, and I want to say law enforcement did answer a lot of things today. They certainly did. Law enforcement shared with us new information, and I understand that they have to protect this investigation. They absolutely do, and they cannot share all of the evidence and anything that's happening behind the scenes. I get that. But for those of us following this case, and for those of us that care about Emmanuel, it certainly is confusing, isn't it? which is why I'm going live tonight and why I just wanted to share this little bit more of information, this additional piece of information. I just couldn't wait until tomorrow. So for those of you that want everything else that we've uncovered and that was discussed in the press conference today, and everything we've learned from other reporters and people that are boots on the ground and those with different sources, speculation and facts, everything we're gathering, go to my earlier report on this case. We have it in the chat right here, but we will also be posting it in the description of this video and pinning it in comments. In addition, we will have the link to the article I just read. And I always say, go support great journalism. And I'm grateful that they gave us just a little bit more into the mind of Jake Haro as he sits behind bars charged with murdering his own 7-month-old son. All right, guys. It's certainly not a case I can easily just put to rest at the end of the night when I need to go to bed. So when I saw that article, I just had to talk about it. So, all right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For those that don't know, I am covering daily recaps of the Donna Adelson trial. Go check those out. And of course, we have our eyes on this heartbreaking baby Emmanuel Haro case. We'll continue bringing you the latest updates. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you. Bye-bye.